So we almost died in Bali, the kids and I. By the time this video is made, the accident happened 12 days ago. So here's what happened. We were going into my daughter's birthday celebration. She was turning 9. And we live in Bali. We live in near Canggu area. And we wanted to celebrate in the area where we've never been before. And that's the reason why we were driving up north into Lovina. So we have been driving for a few hours, and we were up in the mountain going very close to the villa, actually, that we already rented. And that's when the car brake decided not to work. And this is not my own car, because my car is made in 2012, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna rent a newer car, so it's just safer for me and the kids. But I had no idea it was such a wrong choice to make, because something in that car failed us at that time. We were literally 10 minutes away from reaching the villa, and we were going downhill when the car brakes decided not to work. And it was such a scary moment, because as soon as that happened, I remember I was looking down to my feet and I was checking what did I press, because I felt like the car was moving faster instead of stopping or slowing down. And I thought I misplaced my feet into the gas. But when I looked down, I remember I was looking down like this to my feet, and it was actually still the brake that I was trying to press. But instead of that slowing down, it's just going faster. And it was just the most terrifying experience of my life. I thought I knew what fear looks like. I did not. Because my daughter was sitting next to me and my son was sitting behind me. I was literally only have about less than 5 seconds to think, because it was going very fast. And I saw on the map on the phone, which was sitting right there somewhere on my left, I saw that the route is actually going this way. So it was actually going turn around. It was going to be a U-turn near my front. So, and it was going downhill like this. And on the opposite side, if I don't do a U-turn, it was a big, huge cliff, which I cannot see anything other than clouds, which means it's actually very, very high. And my brain cannot think. If anyone knows me, I am always been this person that proud on my logic, like I can think a few steps ahead at least on a lot of different things. But at that time, it was just shut. It was nothing. I cannot even think about what am I supposed to do. Nothing. I was just full on panicking without saying anything to my kids, because it was literally just seconds. But I was like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? I don't know how it happened, but in the last few seconds before we were reaching onto that cliff, I just knew somehow I need to take the handbrake on my left, and then literally swung the steering wheel all the way to the left. I had no idea, I don't think it was me, if I can be completely blunt. Because why I know it was not me, because I cannot think. My brain does not function at all at that time. Convenient, right? Like I needed to function, but it doesn't. And for some reason, it was just a thing that I kind of knew I needed to do, even though I didn't even think about that. You call that instinct or whatever. And then we ended up arriving in someone's backside of the house in their tree. This is the picture right here. But I remember before that happened, there were a lot of movements in the car. Like we were literally like shaking like that. And I remember I hear myself screaming. I heard my daughter screaming next to me. Like, oh, I just don't even know what we were screaming about. It was so fast. It was happening so quickly. And then suddenly, we just landed into that tree. And the first few seconds, I just cannot comprehend yet. Like, my brain does not, it hasn't catch up to the reality yet. It was still like, oh my God, what just happened? Did we get into an accident? And then I remember the car is literally going like this. It was actually going downwards like that. We were pretty much catched by the tree. And the whole front side of the car was wrecked until it was about our feet. So it literally stopped wrecking around that. So there are quite a lot of miracles in this this is the reason why I decided to create this video. It was quite insane, because when accidents happen and you saw it in the news and all of that, you will thought like, it happens, an accident happens to people, not to you. But when it happens to you, it literally changes who you are. At least that's what happened to me and the kids. I'm gonna list out the miracle that happens, all right? So you will see how incredible it is, in a way. So first of all, it was a very big mountain drive, and it was quite a scary route, okay? It was literally called in the news as the Valley of Death or something, because there's so many accidents happen there. But the thing is, I've been driving since I was in high school, and I feel old, but that's about 19 years ago. And guess how many accidents did I have? 0 until that happened. So I'm pretty confident in my driving skill. If the brake was okay, if it was maintained properly, the accident wouldn't never happen. It would never happen, but it did. And here are the few miracles that I found that literally blowed my mind. Okay, so first of all, a few hours before, I decided to do something that I normally didn't. So when my kids are sitting on the back seats, they normally don't put the seat belts, because I don't know if you're watching from certain countries, you probably understand. I used to live in Australia, so I know seat belts are very important. You have to put it on no matter where you sit in the car, and so on and so forth, right? I grew up with parents that never wear seat belts, and they only try to wear it whenever they see police around, so they're not gonna get caught. I grew up with that mindset until I go to Australia, and then I saw that it is a compulsory thing, like you have to put it on. Got it. But then I moved back to Indonesia for, I don't know, 8 years? 7, 8 years? And then that kind of mindset decided to slow down a bit, I just didn't take that seriously anymore, unless we sit at the front for some reason. I feel like when we sit in the front, we have to put on the seatbelt, but on the back, you know what, it's fine. I know it's very ridiculous once I say it out loud, honestly. But anyway, a few months ago, my kids and I, we like to go around Bali and explore, right? So we just moved about 1.5 years ago, but we like to explore. So a few months before that, we went to Kintamani, so that's another type of mountain. It's not as far as Lovina, but it's also pretty far from like Canggu and Pasar area. Both of my kids, they were sitting on the back, okay, with their blankets on, with the soft toys and all of that, all the stuff that they have on the back, and I was sitting at the front, right? Guess what? They didn't put on a seatbelt. And it was literally also a mountain drive, like going up and down for like almost 3 hours drive or something. All right, going back there and going back home. Luckily, nothing happened at the time. And coming back to the time, 12 days ago, about 2 hours before the accident, we were driving, and still in Denpasar area at the time, because we went skating and all of that to celebrate my daughter's birthday early on. And then suddenly within me, I feel like, I think Diaz, my son, needs to put on a seatbelt, which was quite strange. That's like the first thing that I noticed was strange, because you know, I never thought of that. I thought it was okay on the back not to put on a seatbelt. All right, so this is a bit out of the blue. Okay. And then I told the kids, hey, we're gonna stop for a while because you gotta put on a seatbelt. And they were complaining to me because we've been stopping several times. When my son's tummy is a little bit hurting, I had to get an oil on the back and rub it on his tummy. And my daughter needs her comic books, and I had to stop and get it on the back. You know, like we already stopped like several times, and they were complaining, oh, not again. You know, they really want to just go and arrive in a villa. And then I told my daughter, all right, this is a red light. If you can go quickly and put it on, we don't have to stop. Otherwise, if you can't, I'll stop and do it myself. And this was like stopping time and a red light, still in Denpasar area. And then she said, okay, I'll do it. And then she went to the back, and then she kind of like clipped it. She was like, oh, it's not working. Like, is it this one or that one? And I had to kind of like, oh no, that one and this one, until it finally works. And then she sit back down in the front, and that's it. That was about 2 hours before. So that's miracle number one, because the position of the car was like literally going like this. All right. A lot of the stuff that were next to my son's seats, when I got out of the car eventually, I saw all of them are on the ground. So if he were not wearing seatbelt, it was very likely that he would have died, or at least having a very strong concussion, because he will be thrown to the front. And even thinking about that until today still gave me a lot of chills. But luckily he did put on that seatbelt. Luckily I listened to the voice that told me to put him on a seatbelt. So that's number one. Number two, we conveniently landed on someone's back of the house, not the front of the house, not in the middle of their house, not in the middle of nowhere. We could have that was literally mountain with lots of cliffs and lots of unknown places that no humans were there, you know. We could have literally gone into the middle of nowhere with no ability to reach out to anybody, with nobody can help us, you know. Like, it was very, very possible. It was actually, if anything, is very likely, because that's what surrounding mostly is, you know. But we just happened to land it in that someone's tree on the back of their house. So it kind of like crashed a little bit to their sort of garage on the back. And nobody was there. But then later on, the owner of the house told me that their kids were literally just playing there in less than half an hour before the accident happened. We could have easily hit either one of them, which was crazy to think about. And remember, we were going downhill towards the left like that. If there were another driver from the opposite side, we could have easily hit them as well, which could have been another sets of different type of accidents, if you know what I mean. So those are just two. The third one that blew my mind is that the car crashed like that, and if you see I'm gonna put the picture right here. If you see the wreck at the front of the car, it literally wrecked until it's about reaching our feet, and then it stopped there. It didn't actually go further and hit our feet or pressed it or get it stuck. Or this is a tree, right? Like, literally, if you ever watched like Final Destination, you would have known what I mean. Like, there could have been like a branch of the tree that got inside the car and you know, stabbed us, or it could have been anything. It could have been so much worse the way we landed. But nothing. The only thing that actually touches us was that I had like scratches over here, so my hand bleed a little bit. And then if you see right here on my right arm, I got like that bruise. That was it for me. For my daughter, she only had like a little bit of a bump up here. And my son's right ribs got a little bit bruised because of the seatbelt, I think. And he got a little bit of a bump on his forehead. But that's about it. This is a wrecking car accident, and that's all that we got? It was unbelievable. It was crazy. And the other thing is that the car door, when we're trying to open it, it opens seamlessly. But if you see like literally less than a centimeter above it, there's this huge branch of the tree that if it kind of like just like 2 centimeters down towards the door, we wouldn't be able to open the door. We would have been stuck in the car for probably hours until there's somebody from, a car workshop to kind of like cut the door open or something. Like, why does the branch have to stay, like 1 centimeter above the door? Like, there are just way too many coincidences, to the point that at this point of time, I don't believe in coincidences anymore for this kind of thing, because it happens way too many times for it to be a coincidence anymore. So what happened was, coming back to that moment, I opened the door. As soon as I realized, oh my God, we are in an accident, I opened the door open. It was going downwards because we were going like that. And I was just screaming for help. I never thought that I would be in a position where I scream, help, like for so loud. It was so loud. I remember I was hearing my voice. It was very loud. And my kids were like screaming and crying, and it was so chaotic, and then I saw a lot of people coming towards us, and then I was literally, but help, in English it says like, Mr. Help, and then they literally help us got out of the car. I took my daughter and get her out. I took my son from the back and get him out, and then I got myself out with their help. It was very high in the tree. I couldn't have do that on my own. It was crazy. Like, there are I think in total about 40 people trying to help us in there. Not one, not two, 40. And they also, not only that, they also help us get a lot of our stuff from the car outside. And mind you, we were going for a holiday. We have lots of things, like all over the place. We got floaties, we got little bags, we got toys, it's everything. And it's crazy. Not even our iPads or phones are cracked, nothing. And they're not even wearing seatbelts, and they're thrown all over the place, and it's just nothing. So I arrived in the conclusion that I was so protected. My kids were so protected. It could have gone so much worse, but it didn't. I believe in Christ, and I know He is the one who protected me and the kids. I think He was saying to me that your job is not done yet here. You gotta come back and do your thing. Your kids still have a lot of life to live. It's not the time yet, because it was easily can be total death. I could easily froze and do nothing, and the car would have gone to the cliff. Instead, I knew what to do to go to the left. I could have easily not putting the seatbelt on the back, because that's normally what I do. But we were saved. The funny thing is, after the accident, a lot of my fears went away. I used to be very fearful about the future. I used to be very fearful about making this kind of video. This is not my comfort zone. I used to be fearful about losing money. I used to be fearful about my kids' future, about a lot of things, But now, it has put so much perspective into my head, to the point that I don't really care anymore about all the things that I used to care about. To the point that the fears, even though I can still sense that it's there, it almost has zero ground in me anymore. It doesn't control me anymore, because I remember that I was meters away from death, and I have given a second chance my kids the same. for a reason, I'm sure. Whatever the reason is. But it just gave me so much perspective in life that I just want to share with you this miracle, this story. This is my testimony that God is good. He exists. He loves us. He doesn't want us to be harmed. He turned what is supposed to be pain into something good. And I hope this story, this testimony can give you some kind of peace, knowing that God loves you too. And if He can save me and the kids literally from death, He can do anything for you. And that's the end of this story.